Hey guys, what's up? All right. It's Double Deuce back. Today's segment's going to be on a hood build. So I want to take a second to thank everybody. I mean, you don't know how much it meant to me to see my channel explode like it did. I hope I can come through for everything you guys need. You know, if I can, I'll try to find the answers. And I'll try to get my builds done at the same time, so it's going to be a busy time for me. But I want to really thank RC Tanks and Trucks 24/7 for the plug. You really you don't know what it meant to me. I've been doing these videos for a long time, and you know I don't know, I've been getting a lot of weird comments and stuff and weird things like that. But you guys seem to appreciate the one-off builds. You know, some of the ideas I got, and you know, that right there it means a lot to me. And like I say, you know, I'll repay it by building more stuff for you guys to see. And it is what it is, I guess. So anyways, like I say, thanks again, and let's get to the build. Hey, and welcome back, everybody. Today we're gonna make a hood open and close. I've had a lot of questions on that from everybody out there, and I'm gonna show you how I did it, and hopefully it'll be easy for you, because I thought it would be a lot harder than it was, but it was really pretty simple. So anyway, it opens and closes pretty slick. I got a little latch down here, and I'll show you what I did to it. But when you unlock it, it's just like a real hood. I took a piece of brake tubing, and I'll show you what I did real quick with that. And I just basically cut the hood down the seams, okay? And I'll show you what I did. So there we go. Now, here's what I used to cut it. Good old X-Acto knife, retractable knife, okay? And for the hinges, I got good old brake line, 3/16 brake line. You can buy this stuff it's pretty cheap, and I tell you, I use this a lot in the hobby for spacers and brackets and whatnot, you know. And these things here on the ends, they're kind of a flush fit there, you know. So you can actually use these things too in conjunction with this here if you want to make something. You could actually use them on the hood if you wanted to. You know, you could separate them out like that, and then turn them and leave these in the center and run it across the front if you wanted to. But this stuff, it bends fairly easy, and you can use regular pliers to bend it, or you can get fancy like I did, and I bought a pair of 3/16 bendable dikes here for it, you know. And how this works is, that piece, we'll use this one. What you do, if you want the thing bent the other way, you put it in this way, okay, and you hold it to whatever length you want. Okay, now you see you got two dies here. You can either squeeze it and turn it to the left, or you can squeeze it and turn it to the right, if you know what I'm saying. You know, it doesn't matter. It depends on which angle, what you're doing and what you're building. So what I did on that, this is what I did. Okay, I'll do a quick one here for you. All right. Okay, here's what I did. What you're going to make is, it's going to look like a question mark, okay? And this is going to be, I don't know, what I did was underneath here, all right, you can see how I put these in, okay? I used the brake line, and I just made a loop in it and turned it around. Try to get a close-up on that there, and there's some light on it so you can see it in there. There you go. There, now this is the pointer. I just made the loop so it kind of comes around, and then I flattened it out and made it go straight, okay? And where it comes in underneath here, okay, I took bigger brake tubing, for instance, like 1/4 inch brake tubing, and I just kind of squeezed it together, made an oval out of it, and then I cut the bottom off. But if you don't want to do that, and if you got anything laying around that's similar to any channel aluminum, you know, you see how that is channeled, and then you just cut off a little piece, drill a hole in the thing, and if you flatten out the end of this with a pair of pliers, okay, you can put it in there and put like a 3mm screw through it with a Loctite. That's what I did. So I'll make a quick version of what the hinge looks like here real fast for everybody, and that way, and I'll show you what to do and how to make it, okay? And the angles of the hinge, everybody's gonna be like, well, what angles do I use? Okay, this is what you're gonna want. It's gonna look like a little staff, you know? And you'll cut it off about here, and you'll flatten this end, and you see, as long as your hole and this are pretty similar together as far as across, okay, what it'll do is you can hold this here and then it'll come up, you see. And when you put that inside there, like I did, I flattened it out and I put some servo tape on it, and the pieces like this, you just put a little servo tape on that too, and you make room inside your body, okay? So when you get your hinges kind of made, all right, and kind of roughed out, now you can see what I did was where the interior mounted on both sides, I use that as a point just to take a Dremel tool and go in there and burn it out a little bit. And if you look, you'll see my bracket is sitting underneath here. So you're only going to want maybe probably like 3/16 of an inch high on your bracket. So if you use this, okay, I preferably use brake tubing, 1/4 inch brake tubing, and kind of flatten it out. Or if you got any square tubing, that's 3/16 of an inch high, you know, just so you get enough in there. You only need enough just to put a screw through the thing and mount it to the body. So once you get this dremelled out and that dremelled out, you can see I cut this out here because I got the Toyin 4-stroke in there, and I needed room for the idle spring. Now when you get that roughed out, okay, you haven't cut the body yet, okay? So now what you want to do, turn around, take your knife, okay, be careful with this stuff, don't use a razor blade, whatever you do. I've whacked my fingers up pretty good, but all you want to do, now the plastic on the HG-P407s is a little softer than the Tamiya plastic. So you'll just want to score back, you just keep going down, pushing down a little bit each time, you know, don't get too aggressive because you'll slip with the hatchet. And just keep cutting, straight down, straight down, straight down. Now, you want to remove your grill and stuff first. And cut along the back, okay? And what I did was I left the corners kind of connected as I kept cutting through it across here. I left these two corners connected, and then I just kind of gave them a little love there and cut them last. All right? Now, you're not going to have a grill in it, so the hood's going to fall down or whatever. Take the hood right off of it, and now this is where you're going to need some masking tape. All right, and what you do is take a couple pieces of masking tape and tape the hood right back on it again, where everything lines up in the front. Okay, and don't worry if you don't get it all perfectly lined up here, because you can sand it back to make a match. So you put two pieces like this, on there where and put the hood right back exactly where you want it. Then you turn it upside down and you peel the backing off the servo tape and slide them up in and stick them in, and you stick them to your hood. All right, and then when you've got that on there and you're satisfied with where you want them to sit, and you can take the tape off, you can try the hood a few times, make sure everything's okay. Then I use JB Quick Weld. Okay, and I just mix some of this up 50-50, and get yourself a little screwdriver or some kind of a, popsicle stick or something to spread the stuff out, and I just put it in around the hinges after we're double stick taped down with the servo tape. And I did the same up here. I just kind of blobbed it in over here to hold them in place so they ain't going nowhere. Now, an important thing when you put the grill on, okay, you can see mine's different. I had, when I made my latch and stuff on my grill, because my grill's the all metal grill that I did a review on a while back. All right, and this here is basically just your servo linkage, you can buy from like Tower Hobbies or any place to make your servo linkage. I just took that and bent it up with a regular pair of pliers here, and I looped it around the mounting point of the grill. Now, I get to the grill, you can see I made a latch. Okay, this was just it was just a piece of sheet metal bracket that was laying around at the shop where I worked at, so I just gave it a quick fold and I ground a little hook on the top of it there. So when the hood comes down, this here is a piece of 1/4 inch brake tubing up here, as you can see right there. Get the light on it, yeah. That's a piece of 1/4 inch brake tubing, and I just used the servo tape on that and used the JB Weld to stick it down too. Now, when you do that, you're not going to have, you see your 2 mounting tabs for your grill are on your hood, okay? You're not going to have the ability, you're only going to have 2 mounting points for your grill now on the bottom. So what I did was, way up in the upper corners up here, okay, I got like a little screwdriver, and I'm trying to get a close-up of that too. Try to get some light on this for you so it's a little bit better. Yeah, you can see it there. I just put a little JB Weld up there, just enough to hold the corners together, in there. If you can see that, where the headlight is. Now here's your side marker light, there's your headlight, and here's your opening for your, your cornering light. But I just poked a little up in there and let it set overnight, and it, now it's rock hard now. The thing ain't going nowhere. You can shake this thing around and really stiffen up the front of it. Then I also took brake tubing and just kind of made like a big U-shaped bracket here, and I flattened out the bottom ends and I flattened out the corners and drilled holes in it so I could mount it to the existing grill mounts instead of the bracket that goes across. The reason I did this was because I wanted to mount, being you're eliminating the tower mount in the top, you're going to want to mount it. So I mounted this right to the holes in the frame where the brush guard go, where the washers are. And so you get that in there, and you could actually add to this if you wanted to bring it over to the sides. There's actually 2 tiny little plastic tower bosses here with a screw hole in them. If you wanted to, you could make like a radiator support that would come across here and then turn and mount to that too if you wanted to. That way you could still hold your grill on without gluing it if you don't want to glue it. But so, like I say, getting back to the latch, I got a little spring. This is basically off a a throttle spring off a nitro car, you know, tiny little thing. If not, you can use a ballpoint pen spring. That's probably what this is. I had it on a nitro car. If you tear a ballpoint pen apart, the clickable type, there's always a little spring in there. And I just mounted it to the front bumper mounts through the hole. And I drilled a hole behind the bumper and just ran, what do they call those? Countersunk screw through it. 4mm screw. I put a nut on there, tightened it down really tight, and then I put the bracket or the latch bracket on there, and then I put another nut on there, and I just touched it with some super glue. Or if you want to use, thread lock, you can do that too. But so that's how I did this. Like I say, any questions or comments or anything like that, feel free to hit me up, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I got blown up with questions, and I've been trying to get back and answer them all for everybody. Like I say, my time during the week is extremely taxing because I work a full job, and by the time I get home at night and feed myself and relax, it's 10:30, 11 o'clock, and then it's time to go to bed because I usually get up about 5 or 6. So anyway, like I say, you can leave the tower mounts on the hood if you want to. I left them on there just because I put a little piece of fuel hose on there so I could stick the prop rod on there. So, because I wanted it to kind of look like a Toyota, being I had the all metal grill, I wanted the scale realism of it, and I've seen on eBay somebody sells the aluminum bumpers too that are all CNC machined and all that stuff, the bumpers and stuff. This is the plastic one, but yeah, they're about $1.20 or something like that for them bumpers. They're crazy money for a bumper, but I don't even think a real Yoda bumper is that much money for this year. You can buy aftermarket one for probably $75. But anyway, like I say, like, share, subscribe if you want. Like I say, if you're confused about something, feel free to hit me up, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. And again, I want to thank you all again for the support, and on my Toyin 4-stroke build there, that's what this body's from. I'm going to bring more updates on that. Right now, I'm testing clutches, and my whole goal for this is to kind of set up with a get some kind of a setup that works. That way you guys don't have to go out and spend countless hours and money trying to come up with a clutch system that works. And I'll get more into detail about that. Everybody wants to see a crawling video of it. It doesn't crawl that well because the clutch slips. And I made the clutch better by turning the shoes around to the aggressive side. Instead of dragging, it bites into it, but it still slips. And and I'll tell you why there's going to be a lot of problems with clutches with those motors. All right, and I'll get into that on my other video. And so when all the parts get here, I'll be on it, and like ugly on an ape. So anyway, like I say, have a good one, guys. Adios.